Hello, folks. How you doing today? My name is Lonzo. I'm the editor of the Compton, the Hub City Legend here in the city of Compton. Today, I have a very distinguished guest, the superintendent of the Compton Unified School District, Dr. Brawley. How you doing today, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself,
I
Lonzo?
cannot complain. I'm glad to have you on the show. We've been talking about this for quite some time. Every time I see you, I mention this to you. And today we about to make it happen. Um, Dr. Brawley is credited with turning the Compton Unified School District totally around. Dr. Brawley, how did you make that happen?
Well, there's a lot of things that went into that, and we started off really with a focus on where we were and where we needed to be. So this is my 14th year here now. When I first arrived, our school district was at a 55 or 58% graduation rate, a 12% A through G completion rate, which is A through G is the criteria to be admitted into a CSU or UC system.
Okay.
And we simply put, we weren't doing that well. And fast forward today, we're at 94% graduation rate, an A through G completion rate of 76%, and a CCI indicator, which is college and career indicator rate, of roughly 66%. When you look at that data, that is the best in Los Angeles County, as well as the best in the state of California for school districts serving similarly situated students like the students that we serve in Compton. Said differently, no one's doing it better than Compton Unified School District in Los Angeles County or in the state of California. So the how really focused on a lot of different things. We have implemented Malcolm Baldrige performance excellence standards within our school district, where we benchmark our performance against our surrounding competitors. Okay. So who are those individuals? That's Long Beach, that's Paramount, that's Linwood, that's LA Unified, Downey, Bellflower, you name it. We began benchmarking our performance and setting goals, SMART goals, if you will, in terms of what we wanted to achieve. When we started that process, all of them were better than us, significantly better than us. Fast forward today, we're at the top of that heap now. Long Beach being one of the top performers, we perform better than them in graduation rates, A through G completion rates, and college career indicator performance. And we're also better than them in math. Our math achievement this year, most recently, has surpassed Long Beach. And we're slightly behind them in language arts by about 0.8%. But we anticipate that within another year, we will surpass them in that performance indicator as well. So it's that benchmarking performance. Where are your surrounding competitors? Where are they at in terms of the performance? How much more do you have to go in terms of closing that achievement gap and or performing better than them? Creating SMART goals to actually achieve that, and then action plans that you work to actually increase the performance indicators in all those different areas.
Fantastic. I've attended a lot of events in the Compton Unified School District regarding STEM. How big is the STEM program in the city, in the Compton Unified School District?
I would put our STEM program up against any STEM program across the nation. We've done a remarkable job, and that goes back to probably about 12 years ago, roughly 11 years ago, when I had the opportunity to bring an individual on board. Her name is Michelle Dawson. She's my Senior Director of Technology and Innovation. And we took a team of individuals to go see Apple, to go see Google. And one of the things that we noticed right away was that the majority of the individuals working at those corporations did not look anything like the kids that we serve within Compton. Said differently, those were, for the most part, lily white organizations that did not have much diversity in terms of their makeup, in terms of who they employed. And they certainly didn't have much black and brown present. Apple was better, but Google had a long ways to go in terms of achieving any kind of I won't even say parity, but achieving any kind of significant increase and minorities working for their corporations. The ones that they had were from overseas. And we left that with an understanding that we needed to close the opportunity gap for the students that we serve within Compton, so that by the time they leave us, they have the opportunity to participate in a global economy. And that them coming from Compton or them coming from a zip code similar to Compton was not going to be the thing that held them back. So we set down a road to really increase our footprint in the area of technology. We first started off with robotics. We continued to expand from robotics to coding to drones, esports, computational thinking. We had tons of individuals that we put through what used to be known as the Buck Institute back then, to really think about computational thinking and the systems that needed to be in place in order for our students to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that would come their way. And we've continued to evolve along the way. We start kids coding in preschool in Compton. And that, really? and oh yeah, and that experience continues throughout their academic journey through high school. So by the time they leave us, they literally have the opportunity to enter the workforce or continue their studies at the collegiate level to expand their knowledge in those fields of interest that they may have that are related to technology.
Okay. What's the matriculation rate from Compton Unified School District to Compton College?
I'd have to pull that data, but we have a very robust program of dual enrollment, okay, where almost all of our students participate in dual enrollment while they are in high school. So most of our students will graduate with anywhere from 2 to 4 courses already completed. And the students that are enrolled in our early college program, the vast majority of them will leave with an associate arts degree by the time they graduate high school. And we've just opened up CTech High School, which is located at the old campus, Willowbrook campus, where the early college was located. Okay. And that population also, by the time that they graduate, they will be graduating with an associate arts degree. So this is the first year of the CTech program, and a cohort of approximately 85 students that began, and each cohort will build each year until they become seniors and ultimately graduate. But we want to provide as many opportunities as we can in order for students to leave Compton Unified School District having completed a minimum of 2, but in many cases, at least four community college courses by the time they graduate, and many that almost all of the students that are enrolled at the early college program, or those that just enrolled with the first cohort at CTech, by the time they graduate, they will have completed their associate arts degree or their equivalent of that.
We have a brand new campus at Compton High School, beautiful campus. I was there for the christening, and I got a personal beef, not with you, of course, but some of the mindsets of the students that insist on writing on the walls. How do you think we can combat that? I know there's talks about Centennial being torn down and being rebuilt, and I'm just trying to understand, as we make progress in the city, how do we get the students to appreciate what is being done to give them a better atmosphere and a better opportunity?
Now, the students appreciate it, and the students understand it, but there's always going to be a negative element that's always going to attempt to put a scar on something great, right? And so that's a perfect example that you mentioned in terms of the new Compton High School and the tagging that occurred right after the school year began. And we believe that we know who it was, and we've headed down a path related to that, and hopefully we'll be able to reduce that. The interesting thing about that campus that people don't know is that there's cameras everywhere. So you think you're gonna get away with something?
I didn't know that. Okay, good to know.
You think you're gonna get away with something? You better think again. There's about 250 cameras on that campus.
Wow.
Pointing in every direction. So You know, you think you're gonna get away with tagging, or you think you're gonna get away with fighting on campus, or whatever it might be. Think again, because you're gonna be on candid camera, and you're gonna get caught.
Now, you know, I'm old school. I went to Centennial back in the day. I graduated in 75. So I come from a whole different generation. How much different is it exercising disciplinary measures these days? I know it's a lot different, but is it more difficult, or is it a lot more psychological? How do today's teachers and vice principals deal with disciplinary problems in the school district these days?
It's a lot different. You know, there's been a lot of legislation over the years that have curtailed the things that you can do within the school district to address disciplinary issues. And some of that legislation has moved in the right direction in terms of, you know, the overwhelming things that used to happen to certain groups of students, right?
Okay.
And so now I believe the process is a lot more understanding in terms of trying to get to the root cause of what's causing the issues, and then addressing that so that the issues do not repeat themselves and manifest into other types of behaviors. So it's a different approach that's in place nowadays to address discipline, with a better understanding and a desire to really provide support systems to overcome the issues that are facing the individuals that oftentimes are the ones, you know, involved in the disciplinary issues.
Interesting. Now, Compton was just rebuilt. Rumor has it, I hear that there's plans to do the same thing to Centennial.
That
Can
is
you verify
correct.
that?
That is correct.
When
And
is this supposed to take place?
hopefully we'll be breaking ground with Centennial in about 15 months or so.
Okay. So that same thing for Dominguez as well, or just those two schools?
The goal will be Dominguez too. Goal will be Dominguez as well.
Okay. Now, with Compton having the Dr. Dre Performing Arts Center there, what is going to be the focus on arts and entertainment?
There will be a focus over there as well. And one of the things that students have made very clear is that there's this intense desire to delve into the creative areas in the entertainment industry. And we're going to provide students with every opportunity that we can. We have a very rich audio and music production program in place at the middle schools. You've seen what's in place at Compton High School in that space as well. And we're going to replicate some of the things over at Centennial High School as well, pertaining to arts and entertainment.
Fantastic. Now, we talked about the school. Let's talk about you for a second. Where'd you come from, Dr. Brawley? What's your background?
I grew up in the original Hub City. You guys hear that? The original.
Okay, talk to me.
City. San Bernardino is where I grew up.
Okay.
And so went to Cajon High School. That's where I graduated from. Later on, went to University of Redlands. Graduated from there with my bachelor's in biology, and then went to Cal State San Bernardino, where I got my Master of Arts in Educational Administration, and then USC, where I obtained my doctorate in Education and Urban Studies.
Okay, all right. That's a nice resume, Doc. Good, great resume. All right, I'm not going to hold you up a whole lot long. I just had to get some time to talk to you. We've been talking about this for a long time. Is there anything that you want to tell these folks while we have their undivided attention?
Yeah, you know, I want to say this to everybody in Compton. There was a time when Compton Unified School District was not the place to send your child to school. That is not the Compton of today. Compton is leading in the area of education. We've been recognized by Harvard as well as Stanford University in terms of the outcomes that are taking place for the students served in Compton Unified School District. There are a lot of Black parents in particular that choose to send their kids to charter schools in Compton. Look at the data, folks. We are outperforming the charters that are in our area. There's been a lot of lies, mistruths that have been told about charter schools in general, stating that they're better than public education. If you look at the data that's occurring within Compton, you will find that not to be true. So open your eyes. You know, look at the outcomes that the charters are producing for your children, and come back to Compton, where your child is going to be exposed to so much more, have so many more opportunities, so much in the area of technology, so much in the area of career technical education, you know, the opportunities that we're providing for students, whether it's at the high school level, whether it's at the preschool level, you know, with coding starting in preschool, the technology opportunities that exist in elementary and middle school that continue throughout high school, and the partnerships that we have with companies that really provide tremendous opportunities for students to explore their areas of interest in career technical education. We have a partnership with Raytheon at all of our comprehensive high schools called the NAF Academies, which allows students to participate in pathway completion that actually prepares them to enter the workforce by the time they graduate Compton High School, to enter the workforce for Raytheon. That's happening right here in Compton. We have partnership with JA 3DE, where our students are given assignments by Fortune 500 companies that are trying to solve issues impacting their companies. They turn a case study over to the students to analyze and come up with solutions to impact things that they themselves, the corporation, is trying to solve. They work in teams, 5 to 6 students. At the end of the cycle, they have to complete a pitch to the company in terms of why their solution is the best solution for their company to use to solve the issue that the company is facing. You know, we're doing it for kids. You're not going to find a school district that is providing more opportunities in the area of technology for your students to explore. We know that the vast majority of all jobs in the future are going to be linked to technology in some manner. And so we know that. We're ahead of the curve in terms of what we're doing for students to prepare them adequately to take advantage of that. When you look at the colleges and universities our students are getting into, there was an article by the Los Angeles Times that looked at Compton Unified in particular, and quoted what I'm about to tell you, that Compton Unified School District is providing students with more opportunities to get into top tier UC systems and most elite private high schools. So we're delivering outcomes for students.
Okay.
You know, many of our parents may have gone here at a time when that was not the case, but I challenge you again. This is not the Compton of old. We are a leader in education with a goal and mission of becoming the premier, once again, premier urban school district in the nation. And we're very well on our way to becoming that.
All right. With that being said, I'm going to let you go on about your day, sir. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the interview, and we will post this shortly. Thank you. My name is Lonzo, the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce and the editor of the Hub City Legend. Our guest today is Dr. Brawley of the Compton Unified School District, the superintendent. Thank you very much, Dr. Brawley. You have a great day.
You
All
too.
right. All right.